All right, so for as long as most of us have been online, we've all been playing the same game, right? Search engine optimization, SEO. If you wanted anyone to find you, you had to claw your way to the top of that famous list of blue links. But that entire model, the very foundation of how we find anything online, is basically becoming a dinosaur. A totally new set of rules is taking over, so let's dive in. For what, 2 decades, the internet has given us a list of potential answers, a directory you had to sift through yourself. But now we're seeing this massive shift away from that search model to a direct answer model. We're moving from a list of links to one single synthesized answer delivered right to you. And the speed of this change is just staggering. This isn't some far-off futuristic trend. That number, that's a 1,200% increase in traffic from generative AI sources to retail websites. And that happened in just 1 year. This is happening right now, today. And you know who's driving this whole thing? We are, the consumers. This chart shows that 71% of us actually want to use AI to get faster, more direct answers, especially when we're making those big, complex purchases. It's not a novelty anymore. For a lot of people, it's becoming a trusted advisor. So, if this is where the internet is going, how does it all actually work? To really get a handle on the huge opportunity here, and frankly, the threat, we have to pop the hood and look at what researchers are calling a generative engine. Okay, so here is the absolute key. When you ask a question, the AI doesn't just go find links for you. No, it reworks your query, it pulls in all the top sources, and then, this is the game changer, it reads them for you. It digests all that information and then synthesizes it into one single answer. Now, for us as users, this is incredible, right? But it creates this massive new problem for anyone who actually creates content online. The threat of complete invisibility. Your content might be used to build that perfect answer, but you get none of the credit, none of the traffic. You literally become a ghostwriter for the machine. And your brand, well, it risks just fading away. But what if you could fight back? What if there was a new way to optimize your content, not for a list, but for the AI itself? Well, welcome to the dawn of a whole new discipline, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. The goal here is completely different from what we're used to. You're no longer just trying to be number one on a list. You are aiming to make your content so trustworthy, so unbelievably credible and useful, that the AI has no choice but to cite you as an essential source in its answer. And this comparison just lays it all out. The old SEO playbook with stuff like keyword stuffing, it's not just outdated. Some of those tricks can now actively work against you. The new Geo playbook is all about substance, hard statistics, credible sources, powerful quotations. It's about having the most insightful thing to say, so the AI literally quotes you as the expert. And the data on this is just crystal clear. I mean, look at this chart. Research shows that credibility markers like stats and quotes have a massive impact on AI visibility. Now look at that tiny little bar for keyword stuffing. It has almost zero impact. The old tricks are officially dead. The new currency is credibility. But of course, if this new game is all about trust and credibility, you just knew it was only a matter of time before people tried to cheat the system. So let's pivot for a second to the darker side of this new world, AI attacks. Researchers are now identifying a whole new category of threats they call adversarial attacks. These are specifically designed to manipulate the AI, fact-checkers, and generative engines at their very core, undermining the trust they're built on. Let me show you how this works. An AI fact-checker is given a simple, true statement. The Eiffel Tower was the tallest structure in France. It reviews the evidence, and of course, it correctly verifies this claim. So the verdict comes back. Supported. Simple enough, right? But now, just watch what happens when an attacker makes one tiny, subtle change to fool that exact same AI. This is what's called an adversarial claim attack. The attacker submits a new claim. The Eiffel Tower is the tallest structure in France. They just changed one word, was, to is. It's a minor manipulation, factually incorrect, but it's designed specifically to trick the model. And boom, this just brilliantly illustrates the problem. The AI is misled. It flips its verdict based on that seemingly tiny change. It incorrectly supports a false claim, which shows you just how fragile these systems can actually be. And it gets much, much more complex. Attackers can manipulate the claim, they can inject false evidence into the sources the AI reads, or they can even just remove key context to completely change the meaning.
It's a pervasive threat at every single level of this new answer engine.
So this brings us full circle. The new battlefield of the internet is being fought over a single currency: credibility. The game now is about both earning genuine trust through GEO and defending against those who want to subvert it with these kinds of attacks. But here's where the story takes a really hopeful turn. Unlike old-school SEO, which often favored big brands with huge budgets, GEO seems to care more about the quality of the content itself. This shift might actually be leveling the playing field. You have to see this. In one study, a website that was ranked 5th in traditional search results decided to apply GEO strategies. Their visibility in AI answers jumped by over 115%. Meanwhile, the top-ranked sites, they actually saw their visibility fall because their authority didn't matter as much as the quality of their content. And this is the most crucial takeaway. For the first time in a long time, it feels like the best idea can actually win. If you're a small creator or a new business, you now have a direct path to being seen by focusing purely on creating the highest quality, most credible content possible. The internet as we know it is being rewritten right before our eyes. We're moving from a library of links to a single synthesized answer. And the old ways of being seen are fading away fast. So the question is no longer how do you rank? It's this: in the new world of AI answers, are you the source?